about you all the time. Got you on my heart and mind. Thinking about you all the time. Got you in my heart and mind. Thinking about you all the time.
Chance looking then for partly cloudy skies, and through the weekend, dry weather, partly cloudy skies.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I can't believe we're in 2020. That's just crazy to me. I hope everyone had a great celebration with your family and friends, wherever you were at. I, for one, was celebrating in my bed because I was sick. I fell asleep way before midnight. I wasn't down for all that stuff. I was sick. As you can tell in my voice, I still sound kind of like a man, but it's all good. So we're in January now, and January is, if you didn't know, is Thyroid Awareness Month. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because a lot of you don't know about the thyroid gland and the different types of thyroidisms there are. So I did some research and I wrote it down. So if you see me looking at my notepad to the side or whatever, it's because I don't want to miss a beat, okay? I don't want to misinform you or tell you lies. So if for whatever reason I am incorrect about something or I missed something, just comment below, correct me, say, girl, you're wrong. I have no problem with that. So just educate me too, because I'm still learning. Honestly, I didn't know a lot of this. I only know about the type that I have. I have hypothyroid. So I know that to a T. But the other ones that I'm about to mention and give you information on, I had no idea about. So I learned today too. It's not that much. It shouldn't be that long. This video might be boring, whatever. Take it like how you want. But I think it's very educational to know about your thyroid and what symptoms might pinpoint to you having a thyroid issue. And, you know, it doesn't hurt to get checked. Check your neck. Go get your blood checked. That's all it is. They poke me on my hand because I'm a hard draw. So they poke me in this stupid little vein right here. It's all good. And I take a medicine daily. But as long as your thyroid levels are in the range that they need to be, you're good. So the first question you guys are probably asking is, what is the thyroid? Well, the thyroid is a small gland at the bottom, almost at the base of your neck. So if your collarbone, kind of toward almost at your collarbone, the thyroid is right there. It's a butterfly shape. So think, as I'm explaining this to you, think of a butterfly, okay? This is what how I'm going to explain it. The butterfly wings, those are the lobes of the thyroid gland. The body, where the body is at of the butterfly, that's called the thyroid tissue. The thyroid tissue, I don't want to mispronounce this, it's called isthmus, I-S-T-H-M-U-S. I didn't know that. You see, it's a gland that looks like a butterfly. That's all I knew. I didn't know that each part, like the left wing, the right wing, and the middle, had different names. The purpose of your thyroid is to take iodine found in many of the foods that we intake. It breaks it down and converts it into thyroid hormones. And I don't want to mispronounce this either, but it's also known as T3 triiodothyronine is one of the hormones, and then thyroxine is the other hormone, which is also known as T4. Those hormones, T3 and T4, they're released in the bloodstream and they're transported throughout the body and control the metabolism. Your metabolism is very important. If you don't have a regular metabolism, then you could have it could be a possibility of a thyroid issue. Every cell in the body depends on the thyroid hormone. Believe it or not, every cell of your body depends on the thyroid. It controls your whole body. Crazy how that little thing controls everything in your body. I never knew that until I was told I had an issue. It keeps, like I said, it keeps your metabolism regular, and it helps, also affects your body temperature and your heart rate, and it regulates the production of protein among others. So yeah, it's a small part in your body, but it's a big, huge deal. Remember that. Now, if your thyroid is producing too much of the hormones, too much of the T3, T4 hormones, then that's where it creates issues. And there's two issues. Their names are hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. I have hypo. But before I break it down and tell you the difference between the two, let me give you some facts. So I got these facts from primetherapeutics.com, okay? So 20 million Americans have some form of thyroid disease, and 60% are not aware of it. Women are more likely, they're 5 to 8 times more likely than men to have thyroid issues. I only know one male, and it's my cousin, who has a thyroid issue. He has hyperthyroid. The rest that I know, they're all female. The causes are largely unknown. No matter what doctor you talk to and you ask how, why, what, when, they'll just tell you about the T3 and T4 hormones and all that I just told you. Other than that, nobody knows what causes. That nobody can pinpoint or the cause. Undiagnosed patients may be at risk for certain serious conditions such as cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and infertility. Now, the first type I'm going to talk about is hyperthyroid. Hyperthyroidism, this happens when the thyroid produces too much of the T4 hormone. So the prefix hyper, that tells you right there. Your kids are hyper, bouncing off the walls. They have too much sugar, bouncing off the walls. They're hyper, right? Same thing with your gland. Your gland is hyper. It's bouncing off the walls, getting too much of the T4 hormone. So some of the symptoms of the hyperthyroid includes irritability, nervousness, shaking, muscle weakness, sudden weight loss. I wish I had that problem. And problems sleeping. Hyperthyroidism, it's treatable. It's a treatable condition. It's just treatable with a daily medicine. You have to take the medicine daily for the rest of your life. You can have your thyroid removed, but you still have to take that same medicine for every day of your life. What I didn't know, I've always wondered what hyperthyroid, what kind of medicine that they took to slow its roll. They take antithyroid meds and radioactive iodine to slow that sucker down. I didn't know that. I learned something today. And there's a disease called Graves' disease that stems from hyperthyroidism. This is when this is an autoimmune condition, and it causes the eye tissue and the muscle of your eye to swell. So if you see people with bulgy, swollen eyes, it's not because well, it could be because they didn't get enough sleep, or they cried all night or whatever, but it could also be because they have hyperthyroid. Now, type 2, this is what I have. Hypothyroid. This is when the gland doesn't produce enough of the T3 and T4 hormone. And the symptoms, honestly, I believe all the symptoms are the same in both hyper and hypo. The only thing that differentiates the two is that the hyper, it produces a lot more of the T4 hormone. The hypo produces less of both hormones, the T4 and the T3. Also, hyper, you lose weight. Sometimes I wish I had a hyper just so I could lose weight. But hypo, you gain weight. So some of the symptoms include extreme fatigue, depression, forgetfulness, weight gain. Check, 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 and check. I have a problem with all that. I'm always lazy. I'm always tired. I gain weight all the time. Even when I'm exercising and I go weigh myself, a lot of the times it's like, what the heck? I gained weight. I gained a pound. I'm exercising. So it's hard. There's a lot more symptoms too that they don't list. This is just a small list, but there's a huge list of symptoms You can Google thyroid symptoms and it'll give you a huge list. And if you can't remember the difference, like what's the difference between hyperthyroid and hypothyroid, it's the prefix. Hyper is bouncing off the balls. It's crazy. Hypo, I like to think of a hippo because it sounds like it, honestly. It's a hippo is lazy. A hippo is big and lazy and slow and sluggish and just lays around all day. Hypo. And then this too, it is also treatable, and I also have to take a daily medicine, a daily pill. It's called LEVOTHYROXINE, and there's different dosages that you'll probably have to start off with going through different dosages because the doctor has to figure out what's going to keep you in your normal range, and you'll probably have to get poked 5 times in like a month just to see what kind of a dosage you need to be at, because that levothyroxine is acting as your thyroid. It takes the place of it, honestly. So it's very important that you take that medicine daily and not forget it, period, because if you do, it throws your numbers all out of whack, and then you have to start all over trying to figure out what dosage is better for you. I found out I had hypothyroid, I want to say when I was like 19, 20, or 21, one of those ages. It was almost 20 years ago, because my menstrual cycle was abnormal. There was times where I didn't get it at all, maybe like twice a year, and then there was times when I got it, like it came like heavy, and I was scared to death. I thought I was dying. My mom finally went with me to the doctor because I was scared. They told me, hey, you have hypothyroid. So they gave me the medicine for that, and then they gave me birth control to regulate my menstrual cycle. And it took a while because I started off with 75 mcg. I think it's mcg or mg. And now I'm at 150 mcg. It's changed throughout the years, but I've been at 150 for the past 3 or 4 years now, because the dosage can change too. Like if you're gaining weight, it goes by your weight also. So it has to level out. So the more weight you gain, the higher your dosage is going to have to be. There's also, I pray that this happens to nobody, but unfortunately I did have a friend who had this happen to her. There's a probability of developing thyroid cancer. It happens when the thyroid cell grows and multiplies a little too quickly. A tumor forms and the abnormal cells can spread throughout the body. Like any other thyroid issue, the cause of this is unknown, of course. And it can be cured with surgery by removing a little bit of the thyroid or removing the whole thyroid. But when you remove the whole thyroid, you still have to take the thyroid medicines, because like I said, that medicine is the replacement of the thyroid already. And like I said, unfortunately, my friend, she had thyroid cancer. She felt a lump in her neck. She went to go get checked. She got a biopsy done. Turned out to be cancer. She got it removed. They took out her whole thyroid. She went through the chemotherapy. She went through the radiation. She did the whole thing. And I want to say it's about 10 years now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Anna, but I think it's 10 years she's been cancer free. She went from being seen like maybe, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times a year to only twice now. She goes every 6 months. She has to be checked every 6 months to make sure she's good. And she's been good, and she's gonna be good. And that's a good report from God above. So just check your neck. And that's her thing. She makes sure she tells everybody, check your neck. There's one more. It's called Hashimoto's, that I did not get information on. I totally forgot. What is Hashimoto's disease? Hashimoto's means that your immune is attacking your thyroid gland. Some of the very earliest symptoms of Hashimoto's disease resemble those of hyperthyroidism, where your thyroid ejects too many thyroid hormones into your bloodstream. the heightened anxiety, nervousness, irregular heartbeats. It all is treatable. Let's say that it's all treatable as long as you take your medicine daily and you get checked regularly. And a lot of doctors will dismiss that unless you say, I want to get my thyroid checked. But a lot of good doctors won't dismiss it. They'll check it without you asking. Also, and when you go to the dentist and they do x-rays on your teeth, I don't know if you noticed that they put that big old heavy apron on and they have that thing right here that hides it's like a turtleneck. That's to protect your thyroid because it can't have a lot of the x-ray, what is it, x-ray, what is it, x-ray, radiation, whatever. Yeah, it can't, that's not good for the thyroid. So that's all I have. Just remember to get your thyroid checked. Like I said, easy blood work, boom. And the not so good news about having hyperthyroid, and everybody handles it differently. My mom handles it way differently than I do. But it sucks. The symptoms can be draining to some people, and to others it's like whatever. So that is all I have. I hope that was very informative for you. I hope you guys go get your next check, and I hope you guys get your blood work done to check your thyroid hormone levels. Again, if I missed anything or said anything incorrectly, or if you know anybody who has hyperthyroid or hypo, or anything like that, just comment below and let me know. I hope you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like, share, and leave comments, and turn on your notification bell so you can get my notification when my videos are up. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Thinking about you all the time, got you on my heart and mind. Thinking about you all the time, got you in my heart and mind. Thinking about you all the time, got you in my heart and mind. Thinking about you all the time, got you in my heart and mind. Working got us frustrated, but I love the way we work together. We didn't work our way through the storm, through the worst of weather. If we work hard, we gon' make it to the perfect level. And if we have patience, we gon' make this thing work forever.